This video is gonna piss some people off, but as Mark Passio would say, get as offended as you like. And frankly, people need to have reality slapped into them hard. Anyways. We are living in an age where feelings are considered more important than logic, truth, and principles. Oh, you hurt my feelings! Racist, misogynist, homophobe, Islamophobe, bigot, rape, rape, rape! Really, dude? This political correctness shit is getting out of hand. A couple of years ago, the University of Ottawa, just a few hours up the road from where I am, they canceled a yoga class because people were complaining that a Caucasian woman was teaching it. Cultural appropriation, they say. And we have another campus in the Ottawa area that banned weight scales because some obese snowflake got triggered by the sight of it. Yeah, that's right. Ban those weight scales. We don't want to offend people who eat junk all the time and don't exercise. And we also had feminists who got all butthurt over the screening of a documentary talking about men's issues in society. I mean, there were threats and nasty comments and protests over that one. Apparently talking about high male suicide rates and such translates in their minds as promoting male supremacy or misogyny or some such nonsense. Yet feminists stay quiet whenever a Muslim immigrant rapes a woman or a girl. It looks like they fear being called a racist, which is what tends to happen whenever you bring up Muslims committing crimes these days. How do you expect to defeat the dreaded patriarchy if you can't even handle being called a racist? Last fall, campuses all over America set up something called safe spaces or cry rooms for students who were grief-stricken over the U.S. election results. Yeah, they were allowed to skip classes and exams to mourn Hillary Clinton's scripted election loss. They were even given coloring books, Play-Doh, hot cocoa, puppy therapy, maybe even stuffed animals. Yeah, these are college and university students I'm talking about, not elementary school kids. Yeah, maybe instead of giving them all those things I mentioned, they ought to be given diapers, baby bottles, baby formulas, and have a musician play a certain tune on a violin. Seriously, people, Hillary Devil Bitch Clinton was never meant to win the election. Okay, she was just a jobber for Trump. That's all she was ever assigned to do. Nothing more, nothing less. But I've already covered that topic, so I won't get into that right now. Here in Canada, they passed Bill C-16, which makes it illegal to discriminate against transgenders. It also means you have to use their preferred gender pronouns. Yeah, they're so sensitive about this that I even heard that some transgenders committed suicide over others not using their preferred pronouns when addressing them. Just recently, a regional councillor in the town I live in got slammed over stating that Caucasians have done great things for the country and that people ought to learn about them. Yeah, people are even protesting freedom of speech now. Conservative speakers can't even appear on campuses without some rioting taking place. We're really becoming a weak, cucked-up society. If something as ridiculous as the skin color of a yoga teacher, or a bathroom scale, or not being called a she when you were born a guy, or the thought that men are victims as well, or basic human rights like freedom of speech or freedom of expression, if those things are enough to get you to run home and cry to mommy, how are you going to handle living in the real world? What are you going to do when the economy collapses? Or if there's food shortages? If Russian soldiers invaded us right now, you'd literally crap your pants, wouldn't you? There'd be no safe spaces for you then, okay? They'd be bombed into oblivion. And the only feelings you're going to have is a military boot up your ass, or a bullet to the head, or maybe none at all when you're bleeding to death from having your limbs blown off. Well, anyway, the point is, you're not that special, okay? In fact, none of us are. And it's just like the title of the video says, your feelings don't matter. What you do with your life, that's what matters. Respect is earned. It is not something that is given to you by bitching and whining about every possible thing under the freaking sun. I suggest reading books or watching documentaries instead of doing this all the time, or this all the time, or watching TV all the time. And I also suggest you listen to lectures that are not part of any curriculum in schools, colleges, and universities. You'd actually learn something useful. Okay? Educate yourself. And more importantly, grow up. And if that's too much to ask, and it likely is, then I'll just leave you with this.